This is DFW Home Talk, where we educate you on the real facts of the local real estate, credit, and finance markets, empowering you to make informed decisions for you and your family, achieve financial goals, and the dream of home ownership with financial security. Now your host, Kimberly Beckham.
What is the difference in having the set fee versus by the college hour?
Sure. A lot of the private universities, your main cost is going to be in tuition. They have very few fees, but you might pay a higher tuition rate. But that is set, and so it's a little easier to calculate. Some of the publics and privates have gone to a flat rate tuition, and while that's easy to calculate, your student may not always be efficient if your student is not taking enough hours. And so with state schools, you want to look at their tuition rate, how many hours a student can take under that flat rate tuition, as well as what are the fees. Could I get a list of those fees? You might want to call the cashier's office, the bursar, or the financial aid office to determine what those are exactly, because until you do that, you don't know if that you're comparing apples to apples.
Right. If you're just joining us, you're listening to DFW Home Talk right here on 100.7, and we're talking to Leslie Moulton with DBU University, Dallas Baptist University, on some of the different options and fixed cost as far as going to school. What exactly is financial aid? Can you tell us briefly about that?
Sure. Financial aid is are federal and state programs that provide financial resources to students going to college. It doesn't matter if they're undergraduate or graduate. There are financial aid options for both type students, and they're generally determined by filling out both university financial aid paperwork and the federal FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid.
Okay, and so that determines their eligibility of being able to get possibly some free grants or funds.
Yes, grants are always free. So when you hear the word grant, think free. That's what you want. Or scholarships are free. So those are the types you want to look for. But the estimated family contribution or the expected family contribution is determined by the FAFSA. And that's there are about 20 factors that they take off your federal tax return to determine what that number is. Let me just tell you, Kimberly, no one likes their EFC or their expected family contribution, because that's the annual amount the government thinks that you should be able to spend on college that year for your student. Inevitably, people don't like it because it doesn't take into consideration many of the financial obligations that the family has already made, whether those are for their home, cars, medical expenses, or even their retirement account. Those are not taken into consideration, so that number inevitably looks high.